Welcome to the Serapion of Alexandria. In a city of numerous magnificent attractions, the Serapion was considered to be the most beautiful temple of Alexandria. Located southwest of the city on a small hill known as the Acropolis, the sanctuary was constructed during the reign of Ptolemy III, upon foundations which had existed since the reign of Ptolemy I Soter. Visitors of the Serapion climbed 100 steps to reach the courtyard. Libraries were installed in the porticos surrounding the square building, with its roof and columns adorned with gold and gilded bronze. Pharaohs were generous to the temple, as were several Roman emperors after Egypt's conquest. An inner temple housed the statue of Serapis, dedicated to healing the sick.
βάση αποτελέσει πέμπτη πεσόν, 3 ημέρα μόνο την πράξη.
Αρκούντος κατασχεδόν. Κοπαίνουν οι αλήθως τα διάφτα. Χίλοι. Κίνες, φέρνεις τα πράξτα με πετέρουν. Φρύτης αχρηστίας. Περισσότερων βλακών δι υπομένην. Αχ, τις αδρανίες αμάρτηταν. Αχ, Ιε μου, αυτόν υπάσχομαι, αυτόν κι.
Εξίσα συναχτή, αρχόντια ο νοικοδομήν τάχα νεοτάτου, την ατιμίδα θέα, ο νης κλιματιά μου κατέσχει. Τι βουλέτε δικραία, εγωιστήστε μέγας,
Since the 26th dynasty, Greeks in Egypt had gradually integrated the Egyptian cult of the Apis bull to their own rituals. With the establishment of the Ptolemaic dynasty, the cult of Apis was further integrated into Greek religion. During his rule, Ptolemy I chose to merge Egyptian and Hellenic gods into a syncretic divinity named Serapis. This name was the result of the amalgamation of Osiris and Apis. With this new deity, the Ptolemaic dynasty managed to accommodate similar belief sets for two different cultures, bringing about a new dynastic cult. Serapis was also associated to other deities, including Asclepius, a Greek god of healing. It is possible that, as with the Serapis Temple of Canopus, the sick would visit this sanctuary, sleeping there overnight in the hopes of being healed within its hallowed halls.
Πάλι πάντες η σιγά. Λέξη. Εντάξει. Κινδυνεύομαι.
Οφθαλμού σου κατέχεις, ήτι του οίκου σου.
Εσού ελάβνην, γνωστόμην και.
Ιδιώτη! Ελάβνην ούτι γνώστη.
Παύλε, αμελή άνθρωπε, πού κοράν δίνασε.
Πόπονε κατέχεις. Ούτων ελάβνη ούκεστη. Παύλο.
Welcome to Alexandria, a commercial hub. The ports of Alexandria were a major commercial hub, effectively connecting Egypt with the Mediterranean regions and beyond. A tremendous amount of materials and goods flowed through the city on a daily basis. The large port market was called the Emporion. It was there that merchandise was traded by the ship owners, called nakliros. Food and other artisan work streamed out of Egypt. Ceramics, glass, golden rings, and minted coinage. The local potters, using traditional Egyptian techniques, competed with those from abroad, and the textile industry flourished. What Egypt did not produce itself was acquired through trade, using local resources such as wheat and papyrus. Most sought after was pine wood from Syria, iron and marble from the Greek islands, gold from Spain, and exotic fruits from Europe. All this commercial activity contributed to the already decadent wealth of the city.
George, something someone was homeless. This couple isn't experiencing homelessness. No. There's something going on. I need to give her more thorough for school again.
Sepsis? Possibly, but she's not like my feet. It's so strong. Intracranial hemorrhage.
Oh, woman.
The wood imported to Port Mareotis through Alexandria's seaward ports was used in the nearby shipyards, where most of Egypt's ships were built. Employing tens of thousands of shipbuilders, the shipyards contributed to establishing the Egyptian fleet as one of the mightiest of the era. Any wood not used in shipbuilding was further disseminated through Egypt for various purposes.
Oh, goddamn wood.
So, I called your health food store and I got the ingredients to that tea you've been drinking. A lot of stuff in there. I think your lattes, spearmint extract, King John's wort. That was nothing
The
wrong.
southern port of Lake Mareotis was the biggest in Alexandria. Save for a branch angling westward, the lake's size in the Ptolemaic era was roughly 40 to 50 kilometers from north to south. Its waters were maintained by a steady runoff from the Nile. In addition to the lake, a man-made canal was created to assist in the transfer of goods from the city to the port using barges, though it is not represented in the game due to its size.
That sucks.
Okay, you got a plan?
Initiate meeting by that.
ICP's up in the 70s. Gotta get that ICP below 20. Let me do a hemicraniectomy now before you herniates.
No, we need to complete the transplant first.
With the new liver, things will clear in time. Or you'll have a working liver and a brain dead patient.
Treat medically while we operate.
How's your aprons? 1 gram per kilogram mannitol increase propofol to burst, suppress, and replace clotting factors. Last one. Skip this liver out. I'm sorry, but we believe Lily has a genetic condition called OTC deficiency, which causes ammonia to build up in the blood. And we're ordering a specific lab to confirm.
If it's genetic, why is she just getting sick now?
The disease can present anywhere from a few days after birth to several months. How serious is it? Unfortunately, very. We need to start treatment immediately. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Let's get Lily up to PQ. Get her on hemodialysis. 10 minutes. 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 10 min
Alexandria. Save for a branch angling westward, the lake's size in the Ptolemaic era was roughly 40 to 50 kilometers from north to south. Its waters were maintained by a steady runoff from the Nile. In addition to the lake, a man-made canal was created to assist in the transfer of goods from the city to the port using barges, though it is not represented in the game due to its size.
Our credit cards are maxed out, and you come down with typhus from a rat. Eve, tell me.
I haven't been going into the office for the past 3 months. It's been in our storage locker.
The southern port of Lake Mareotis was the biggest in Alexandria.
My company's restructured.
Save for a branch
They
angling...
fired me. I've been trying to find another job.
Why didn't you just tell me?
Because I couldn't. Everybody thinks I'm this huge success.
Right here. Well, I'm so right here connect. They chopped it off.
The lake's size in the Ptolemaic era was roughly 40 to 50 kilometers from north to south. Its waters were maintained by a steady runoff from the Nile. In addition to the lake, a man-made canal was created to assist in the transfer of goods from the city to the port using barges, though it is not represented in the game due to its size.
It's an older job. That day. I went to the work zone. I was on top of it. Goes to there.
Good luck.
Takes his meds. A lot of individuals with this serious meltdown.
Banking was one of the most distinctive innovations brought by the Greeks to Egypt. The centerpiece of Alexandria's wealth was the royal systematization of taxes on almost everything. Basic items such as salt, oil, beer, wheat, and linen were heavily taxed. As a result, the royal treasury of Alexandria was able to ensure the economic stability of most of the administrative areas of Egypt.
Fall apart. That's not gonna happen. As it always so serious to me, and I think about guys like you and Ethan over there doing your jobs. You guys are like greatest people in the world, you know.
By the late 12th century, the channel feeding the lake from the Nile silted up. Lake Mareotis lost its connection to the Mediterranean, as well as most of its water, as the lake slowly evaporated to a fraction of its former size. In modern times, Lake Mareotis is being kept alive through irrigation. However, only about 17% of its original size remains.
Ever anything I can do, you know, yeah. Sorry about me. have done better. I'm sorry, you got shot.
Surgery was a success.
He's doing well. You'll get to see him in a couple hours.
Thank you. So, patient. What is that?
Absolutely. Merry Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Back.
This will count.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm too vaccinated to consider adults. So hard to keep up. You know? Done it myself.
Welcome to the Egyptian household.
Happy lived. Acts like a perfect little life. Not easy.
In pre-Greco-Roman culture, women were considered equal to men in many matters. They owned property, testified in court, could divorce and inherit. Until the Greeks and Romans restricted their rights, Egyptian women could take over their deceased husband's trade. Marriage contracts included mentions of allowances and items of value brought to the marriage by the woman, which would forever belong to her.
Looks like you've been nice.
Certain professions were open only to women, such as weaving or professional mourning, while others were available to both genders, including working as servants for the rich households. Social status did have an impact, though. The higher in status, the easier it was to obtain education and access different professions. Homes were generally composed of 3 rooms. First, there was the entrance, furnished with a small bench of brick, probably intended for a statue and protective divinity. Then there was the ceremonial room, meant to receive guests. The last room was either a bedroom or kitchen. Furniture consisted of basic chairs, chests, and storage. Tables were not used for family dinners. Instead, each individual had a small table of their own. marriages were a social contract rather than a religious construct. Family was vitally important to ancient Egyptians, and children were considered a blessing from the gods. The father, mother, and their children were the nucleus of the family, and cohabitation sometimes extended to mothers-in-law, sisters, aunts, and sisters-in-law.
How could you do this, Will? How could you do this to me?
Wait, what? Was this you? Call the FBI.
I did.
But you told me.
I told you to stand down. This is my responsibility, not yours. Any and all fallout
Status and wealth played a large role in the style and size of ancient Egyptian homes.
There will be fallout.
Commoners' houses were built with sun-baked mud bricks. Wealthier homes were often painted in white and decorated with various motifs. Town officials and the rich lived in mansions with numerous rooms that were luxuriously decorated. Only temples and tombs meant to last for all eternity were built with stone.
We can go to the FBI now.
The board does not feel that is in the hospital's best interests. Matthew Cooper. Different on me. None of us.
Any and all fallout lands on me.
Believe me, Sharon, there will be fallout.
Sharon Goodwin. Dr. Matthew Cooper is out on bail. Baxter's Lab is denying any knowledge of the alleged fraud scheme.
That it was the work of their rep, Jessica Donnelly. Doesn't he even have a case?
Listen, I have no comment.
There are reports of impending civil actions from families and patients affected by the
Is it
bad
named in any suits?
I said no comment.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Used the baton for cardiac monitoring.
Funeral stone inscriptions focused on the main member of a household.
One of those patients.
Encircling this person would then be a spouse, parents, and children, possibly even siblings.
Still you opted
These
for
stones
that.
were so structured because there were no surnames in ancient Egyptian culture. Parents and children were a sort of family tree, which allowed for the identification of the deceased.
Out of spaces, but nobody named. Was one of those spaces Dr. Will Holmstead? Why don't we come back to that question? I already got a statement from Dr. Holmstead.
How does it mean that it's going for you?
I'll tell you, nothing the West, and I was thinking about it when I was called the FBI. Now, all it, out there. One hospital, Daniel. The feds are seizing files, computers, get pictures from board members, and staff.
Turns out whistleblowers are entitled to a reward. 6, 7 feet. How about that?
Always a pleasure, Roger. Good chart? Give speed?
Yeah, Morris gave us 50 end-stage renal disease, no longer tolerating hemodialysis. Graphs keep clouding. But he only has one kidney to give.
Yeah, he donated the other to his father 25 years ago. He also has kidney disease. Turns out it's a genetic issue, autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease. Lawrence has it too.
If the doctor still took his kidney.
They missed it. Either a misdiagnosis or a screening didn't pick it up.
Welcome to Bread and Beer.
Chart says Lawrence has a son.
Luke, he's 19. He hasn't been tested to see if he also has probably.
While the Mesopotamians invented beer, including using a straw to avoid the sediments and herbs, ancient Egyptians perfected the brewing method. Egyptian beer's quality was determined by alcohol strength, color, and flavor. During the Pharaonic era, beer was the most commonly used and important alcoholic beverage. The state and temples used it, along with bread, as payment to workers, and it was included on the lists of food offerings to the gods and the deceased.
This is Dr. Marcel.
Hey, Lou. Pleasure to meet you.
Luke, honey, let's let the doctor speak with your dad.
Beer was the popular drink of ceremonies and festivals. The Festival of Drunkenness was even dedicated to it. Considered to be quite nutritional, beer was also significant in the day-to-day lives of ancient Egyptians. Egyptian adults and children consumed beer with all of their meals, and medical texts include hundreds of remedies that contain beer. It remained the most popular alcoholic beverage until the Roman era.
And you truly believe that because your best and possibly last chance to get one.
Recipes for beer varied over time and depended on the quality of the materials. Bakers and brewers typically worked alongside one another at the same workshop or house. Many families often produced the quantity appropriate to their own consumption, with better quality beers produced for festivals and other special occasions. The most basic recipe used malted cereal as the main ingredient. Fruits such as dates were added along with honey and spices.
You know that window down. Let that window down.
The slam dunk deal. Score a power card with an entree for $29.99.
You okay?
Luke wants to help his brother. I can get behind that.
Also, what's developmental ability we're talking about here?
Look, it's not ideal, but we don't have a better move. And Luke needs it bad.
Once baked, bread would be crumbled into the brew to start the fermentation process. Adding grain enzymes would break down the starches, turning them into sugar and creating a thick mash.
Okay. So we're on safe ground. We don't worry about morally.
All right. I'll take it to the ethics committee. Think I'm ready.
Pregnancy team complete approved for patient 5 who will be charged.
Once ready, the bread and grain mixture was compressed and then strained through a sieve with water into the mix of malt beer. Once fermented, the beer mash was transferred to large containers and again compressed by foot or with pestles.
Who's the dad? Why don't you turn over 5?
Good morning, Will. Oh, hey. There's an article in the Trib this morning that can take down corporate greed.
Once smooth, the beer was stored in pottery jars and sealed with a clay stopper. It probably couldn't be kept for long and likely had a thick, pasty appearance and texture. Very little was wasted. Leftover grains were reused to make sourdough bread or combined with the next batch of beer.
6, 14. Almost 20. May 2023.
Hey, Donna, you mean I might have treated her differently? Oh, then Hammer, you're up.
What's up, baby?
What's in your tablet?
This is not. I'm Dr. Halstead. This is Dr. Hammer.
So I can see you got a bum arm and a lump on the head. What happened?
He doesn't speak English. I need sight, Emmanuel.
While there are many ancient accounts for making bread, most of the knowledge known about ancient Egyptian brewing comes from an account by the alchemist Zosimus over 300 years after Cleopatra's reign. More recently, Dr. Delwyn Samuel, an archaeobotanist, has proposed alternate antique techniques to brew beer. However, experts are unable to replicate an authentic beer since not all of the techniques and ingredients used by ancient Egyptians are known yet.
Culture shock must be staggering. Yeah, that's why I didn't think much of it. But recently he's been clumsy, too. Today he missed a step that he didn't know where it was. Fell down the stairs. Lungs are good. Heart seemed normal, but
Food was prepared on the floor until the Middle Kingdom, when cooking benches were introduced.
Cardiac lab, CBC,
The introduction of
and
durum wheat improved bread quality, meaning that the upper and middle classes ate better. The poor, however, still made do with a diet consisting of a gruel made of vegetables, softened bread, or barley.
We'll check back soon. How are you holding up?
Is it better? Put colleagues in an uncomfortable spot, not what I wanted.
I hear that. FBI speak to you yet?
Yeah, told me you made it very clear that I was working on your behalf.
I did because it's true. And we're gonna get through this. Peter, really? Shutting me out of budget meetings?
Dough was kneaded by hand or foot, and when sufficiently blended, additional items were added, such as fruits, nuts, honey, and spices. To leaven the bread, they added sourdough or leaven from beer brewing. Ovens were circular or beehive-shaped and made with clay or brick. If there was no oven at all, a bread maker used the hot sand to bake flatbread, a technique still in use by some Berbers today.
If I had to guess, they're gonna come at you, and I doubt it's gonna be from head up.
Ancient Egyptians always had to fight off the omnipresent sand particles that were blown towards them. Despite their best efforts, sand regularly made its way into their food. Additionally, particles from the grain-grinding stone tools and ovens they used also contributed to attrition and prematurely worn teeth. The team tried to portray this through toothache animations and commoners sweeping sand off.
I assumed you'd be expecting me. Nobody told you?
Why don't we talk in my office? The Shinto Group, healthcare consultancy.
We provide hospitals with practical guidance to navigate the ever-evolving healthcare landscape, whether it be regulatory, operational, fiscal, or reputational management.
You got a lot going on after your name. President, CEO, MD, JD. Tony. Impressive. Why are you here, Mr. Shinton?
Moore told me you don't mess around. They brought me on to help Ned through this challenging time, to establish a